We are counting down to kickoff. Happy to be joined by our Patriots insider, Jeff Howe from the Athletic Boston. And you're thinking that Jets fans might not show up tonight? I want to start there. That was surprising when you even said that to me.
I mean, this is a team that hasn't had a lot of success lately. They kind of know what the outcome of this game is going to look like. And they have, we've seen some attendance issues across the NFL this season. I could see the Jets fans saying, I might want to just make a little money back on my season tickets for this one and then start showing up later in the year.
Interesting theory.
Is Fireman Ed still retired?
No, I've seen him. He kind of comes in and out, right? So he might be here. That actually is kind of fun when he does that. You've seen it. You know what it's like.
Yeah. Been doing this for a few years.
Let's talk about the matchup because, you look 6-0, 1-4 mismatch. You just said you think it's going to be a mismatch. How much does Sam Darnold, first of all, change the dynamic of this game?
He at least gives them a competent quarterback, and Luke Falk was not that in the first time around. I mean, he was completely rattled. He had no chance against this Patriots defense. Darnold has all the talent in the world. We'll see what he looks like after that long layoff, and I still think that he's susceptible to making some mistakes because he's a young quarterback, and he hasn't seen what this Patriots defense is capable of just yet. So I think also some trash talk from the Jets side of it earlier this week is going to motivate the Patriots to get after him a little bit more. But again, you have an NFL caliber quarterback this time around as opposed to the first time when Luke Falk really just didn't give the Jets that.
And now again, Tom Brady faced with lack of depth at wide receiver, Josh Gordon out. We don't know how effective the rest of the receiving core is going to be with Philip Dorsett coming back from the bum hamstring. Where does that position the Patriots offense against this Jets defense in the second go-around?
It's going to be tough because you add, you talk about Darnold, but Quinnen Williams and C.J. Mosley are supposed to be playing in this game, and that gives you two more pass rushers. So you take away what Josh Gordon. You don't know, again, like Philip Dorsett, how close to full strength is he going to be? Julian Edelman, still grabbing at the ribs every game. So you take some of the regulars away from Brady. You add a little more pass rush firepower to the Jets, and you just you elevate the difficulty level for coming in and getting a road win in what could be a decent environment. Maybe it's not, but I think, again, this is a game where the Jets' only chance of winning is if there are two catastrophic plays at least from the Patriots side. So you, I guess, increase the chance of that happening when you are undermanned offensively and you give the Jets a couple more pass rushers.
Well, it was a strange weekend because Tom Brady made himself available to the media on Saturday. That was pre-scheduled, but then it comes on the heels of the release of the Paul Rudd video, the Netflix series, the whole deal. What have you read into that over the last couple of days? And this team always looks for little bits of motivation. Might that motivate him? And what's your general take on what we experienced over the last few days?
Yeah, it was really bizarre. I mean, I don't think it's unfair to read into what we saw, and at the very least, it was a really strange coincidence, and maybe there was some poor judgment. Maybe he got screwed by the filmmakers. I mean, it was just a really strange clip to come out Jets week. We know the filmmaker is a Jets fan, so maybe there was some weird stuff going on. In terms of motivation, this team has found motivation through some of the weirdest things over the course of the years. I mean, remember on to Cincinnati. Remember the Lions in 2014 saying that the Patriots were angry that the Lions bragged about having the number one defense. And the Patriots were like, well, we'll show you we're the number one defense. I mean, the weirdest stuff happens. They were talking about the Redskins tackle talking trash earlier this season. They used that as motivation. Kyle Van Noy, I just wanted to make sure he knew my name. So Tom Brady's just going to say, oh, you know what, it's not even like the Brady Kraft thing. He's just going to be like, oh, they think I suck again, and he's going to use that to fuel him. And watch, they'll blow doors. What
jumps out to me is that on a night like this, a good team wins because they see the competition that's coming after them. And Buffalo's 5-1. They're not going away yet. You look at their schedule, and it appears that they might be able to win a couple more games. Houston lost. Kansas City lost. So if you're in that Patriots locker room, you're like, hey, we can create some space here.
Yeah, they have a real good chance. But Buffalo, they're not going away. And their defense is good enough that I don't think they're going to fall into any slumps. We'll see what Josh Allen can do on a consistent basis in terms of, at some point he's going to have a letdown. If they're as good defensively as we think they are, I mean, they have a chance to get to 9 or 10-1 and really make some noise later in the season. But again, I don't know if Josh Allen is good enough to avoid a letdown, or when is this team going to start buying into their own hype. That's the only team they really have to worry about right now. I mean, we'll see later on in the season if any of those contenders start to level out and, the Chiefs coming in a couple months and all that stuff. But it's a really strange AFC where the teams that we thought were going to give them trouble have fallen way back in the last couple weeks, and then a team that has never given them any trouble the Buffalo Bills are all of a sudden making some noise.
Makes it more fun in the AFC. Should be good. Jeff Howe, of course, you can follow him on the Athletic Boston throughout the game, and I'll have great post-game coverage after this one. The Jets and the Patriots starts tonight here in East Rutherford at 8:20.